What's up guys, I'm Marcus Wolf, an international dating and sex coach, and today we're going to break down the Nelk boys hitting on girls in front of their boyfriends. I'm going to give you some tips on not only how to go and approach a girl when she is with guys, but also what do you do if you're that guy talking to a girl at a club, or maybe it's your girlfriend or wife, and some other guy comes up and starts speaking to her. What exactly do you need to do in that moment? All right, let's get right into it.
I just had to come approach you. I thought you were like very gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can grab your number by any chance. Is this your...
No, this is my
What's
husband.
that?
So it's not a bad opener really. He kind of gets down on her level, he doesn't speak too fast, he seems confident, and she actually responds well. She has that high tonality, she kind of giggles, she likes the validation, she likes the attention she's getting right now. But he kind of goes for the number right away. Now, I know this is a prank, I know it's just to get a reaction, but I see guys doing that. They go and approach a girl and immediately they just ask for a number. You might get it. You might feel good in yourself for that moment, which is fine, but the girl's never gonna actually message you if she knows nothing about you. So keep that in mind. Try to keep this conversation going a little bit before you just go for numbers.
Just wondering if we can get like some drinks, like maybe a beer or like some tequila shots or anything.
You don't understand what I just told you. Go back over there.
Well, what's the problem?
This is my husband.
That's my wife. Maybe...
This is my husband. Now, you can see immediately he gets reactive. Immediately he gets jealous, upset, he acts insecure, he tells the guy to go away. But what's really important to pick up here is that the woman actually reaches out, puts her arm on his chest, and creates that physical barrier. Now, keep that in mind. Whenever you're in a club, you're in that environment, there might be guys that come up and get jealous and get aggressive. But if you see the girl actually become concerned, then you know this guy's probably fucking crazy, right? You know he's probably going to escalate this a little bit further. So always keep that in mind. Always look for the girl's reaction as well.
Be like a friend date.
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
Hey,
You're good. You're good.
what's the problem?
What did I just tell you?
Oh, wait, chill. So no number?
You ain't getting a hint.
Not a WhatsApp? WhatsApp, email? No email? I was just being nice.
All right, guys. So what do we think about the guy's reaction? How would we score that? Now, you need to keep in mind that, you know, they're married. This girl isn't going to run off with some guy, right? There's not like she's going to get the number and like meet up with this guy later, like right there in front of the husband. There's no actual real threat or anything to be worried about there. But there is a threat about the perception you create afterwards. And let's imagine that this is a girl you just met or it's a girl you just started dating. You don't want to give off perception that you're like this weak, insecure man. Because I'm sure a lot of guys think that maybe acting all tough and aggressive is like a masculine or alpha thing to do. But the girl just thinks you're a little bit pathetic, right? That's what she feels and what she thinks. There's a principle you need to remember that whenever there's two guys or multiple guys in social circles, whoever reacts the least is usually the highest status. So when a girl sees two guys and one is getting really emotionally upset, really emotionally involved, and the other guy is just like chill, calm, composed, then she's gonna have more attraction for that guy that is calm and composed. So I give this guy like a 3 out of 10 in terms of how he reacted and handled this situation. All right, guys, let's check out clip number 2.
Excuse me. Sorry to
Fashion
do this in front of your
sense
brother,
on
but
point.
I really thought you were pretty.
He's my boyfriend.
Would you want to maybe go on a date or something sometime? Do you like fish tacos or anything? What's your favorite way to grill a grouper? I just want to talk to you.
Okay, so again, obviously very much a prank, but you can see what he did really well here was he actually acknowledged the guy. He acknowledged the other person there. If you ever approach a girl that's in a group, you always need to acknowledge her friends. Because if you have that tunnel vision just for the girl, then the friends are just going to come in and like pull her away, say she doesn't want to talk to you. Like even if this girl's into you, the group doesn't know that. And the girl doesn't want to feel like she's leaving out the friends don't want to feel like they're leaving out the girl. So you need to acknowledge whoever else is there. Now, obviously here he's done it like antagonistically. He said, sorry, this is your brother, but you could simply just say, hey, I'm sorry. Like I'm just going to chat to her for 1 sec. Hey, I'm really sorry. I just need to ask her something. And at least now there's been an acknowledgement there for both parties. And you're more likely to be able to have that conversation without any tension.
Maybe just your number, or I just want to finish the conversation with her real quick. Do you maybe your Snapchat?
No, leave me alone. I'm serious.
Hey, you put on your fucking sunglasses? Oh my god, Dad, I'm wheeling! Stay the fuck out, son! Oh my god, you're so embarrassing. Just follow me on Instagram if you want. It's Jesse's Castles.
So as you can see here, this guy also got a little bit aggressive, but nowhere near as bad as guy number one. And at first he was kind of relatively chill. He was like, just beat it, just go away, like get out of here. And he just escalated his aggression as the situation escalated as well. So I think, you know, we can give this guy a 6 out of 10. It wasn't great, but you know, it was okay. And I think Jesse actually did some really cool things that you can use. One of them was he just framed the boyfriend as a little bit weird and antisocial with his tonality. So if you're in a club and there's just some random guy that comes up and was like, hey, I was talking to her, then you can use like exactly what Jesse said, which was, hey man, just 1 sec, I'm just talking to her. So when the girl from the outside sees that and she sees one guy getting angry and the other guy just, hey man, I'm just talking to her, like, don't be weird, it's okay. Who do you think she's gonna want to speak to, right? So keep that in mind. It's gonna be a constant theme throughout these breakdowns, the idea of emotional reactivity. Let's move to scene number 3, and this guy fucking slays it. So let's see what he does.
Excuse me? Hi, sorry to bother you. I had to come approach you. What's your name?
Sarah?
Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Salim.
meet you.
I just thought you were very gorgeous. I've been here for like a while, like in the hotel and stuff. I just seen you walking by. I had to come approach you.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Okay, so first of all, the open is super creepy. Never tell a girl, hey, I saw you walking around like this hotel or certain places and I wanted to come. Like, you sound like a stalker. It's not very good at all. But the boyfriend here, as we can see, is smiling. He's chill. He's nodding his head. There's even a pop-up here, admiration smile. Like, yeah, I mean, he's chill about it, right? He seems very grounded.
Oh, is this your brother?
No, that's my boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Gorgeous. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if I can grab your number by any chance.
Oh no, she's my girlfriend.
Literally my
My
boyfriend.
Oh, you guys been friends?
No, we're dating.
This is my
That's my
girlfriend.
boyfriend.
Oh, how long have you guys been friends for?
No. We're like exclusively dating.
Oh,
Thank you though. Like,
Oh, okay.
thank you for coming over. That takes a lot of balls.
do you have like a sister?
I do not.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't let me like a little cock?
So I actually like that Salim like frames it that way, right? He keeps adding on. Oh, so you guys are like friends, right? Oh, so it's you guys brothers, you're just hanging out. That's something you can do if it is just a friend, right? If it's some guy that was talking to her that night, he's like hanging out with her, and he was like, hey man, I was here talking. You can be like, so you guys are just friends, right? You're friends, yeah? So it's a nice little touch that Salim added on there.
Till night.
He's not letting me.
I mean, you're a great looking guy. You're a lot to compete with. I would get intimidated.
Really?
Yeah, but commend you because it is really, really hard to approach a girl and ask for a number.
Yeah, it took me a long time to come
I know,
approach.
'cause you gotta think about it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
So, like, seriously, respect.
Well, it would be like respectful if you actually let me take her out, you know. Okay, well, you are very beautiful. If you ever need to yeah, I can take down your number. Okay.
Good day.
I mean, let's look at that dynamic. It's so different to the others, right? To the others, you see the guys like trolling these couples. The guy getting super angry and the dude trolling kind of walking away and laughing about it. But it kind of got flipped a little bit here. Like, this guy seemed like the boss. He seemed like the alpha in this situation because he was telling Salim, he's like, hey man, good job, props. Like, you did well. Now, you can actually add on to that, right? Because that's a very boss statement, right? Like talking down to someone, telling him how well they did. But you can add on to that and start giving him some advice. You could say something like, hey man, really good job. Like, it takes balls to come and speak to someone. That's really cool. But man, next time, just speak a little bit louder, right? Be expressive. Like, when you're talking to a girl, that's what they like. I mean, look, you're doing well. You're going to kill it. But, you know, just practice that. Just speak a little bit louder. And so now, again, your girl standing there with you is looking at this situation, and what is she thinking? She's thinking you're a boss, and you're not this like possessive guy that's telling her what not to do. Because we all know it, right? Reactance. Whenever you tell someone not to do something, they have this little thing inside of them that wants to do it. So here this guy gives her the freedom. You can chat to this dude, the girl blows him out, the guy walks away, and they're laughing, right? They're laughing, and this girl probably has more attraction for this guy in the last 5 minutes than she ever has before. All right, so I'm gonna give this guy a 9 out of 10. Absolutely killed it. We're gonna go through one last clip, and then I'm gonna sum it up and just give you 3 tips on what to do if you find yourself in this situation.
Hi, excuse me. Quick question. What's your name?
Oh, why are you asking?
I just came here to approach you. I thought you were gorgeous. That's why.
Thank you. It's my husband.
All right, so when you approach a girl, never just go up and say, hey, what's your name? right? Like there's no context. You sound like a hitman looking for your target or something, right? Like don't do that. You need to give context, which he followed up with hey, I think you're gorgeous or whatever he said. But you need to do that first. Never just go out without any context.
Oh, your husband?
Yeah.
How long you guys been like married for?
A year.
Yeah. Oh, a year's not that long. Do you mind if I can grab your number by any chance? I just thought you were very, maybe like a friend day or anything. Just toss them to the side for like 2 days, you know?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
No, I do mind.
Oh, why?
It's my wife.
But like only for a year though.
How about we just ignore him?
Yeah, how about you
Maybe
just leave,
he'll
bro?
go away.
Am I like pressing your buttons or anything?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
All right, so that situation is a little bit different to the others, in which the guy actually got a little bit uncomfortable and reactive. But instead of getting aggressive, he actually showed it in different ways. So let's look at his body language. He started shuffling, adjusting how he was sitting. He fixed his hat. He put on this fake smile, and you could tell because he was smiling here, but not in his eyes or in his brows. And he also like comforted himself. So all these pacifying behaviors, girls are really good at reading. And you can notice she kind of jumped in there and she kind of took the authority role and she was like, hey, let's just ignore him. She almost like comforted him for a little bit. And if you see after this clip, if you just look here, you can see he's kind of still feeling a little bit awkward and she's like avoiding eye contact. She's just on her phone. So it's not a very attractive behavior that he just showed. Now, of course, he did better than the other guys that got aggressive. I'd prefer to see this than getting like outwardly aggressive and causing this scene. So I'm gonna give this guy a 7 out of 10, but there's definitely some room for improvement there. All right, so what are the 3 things we can learn from these interactions? So number 1, definitely, if you want to be that cool, calm, collected, confident guy, you need to be able to control your emotions. You need to understand this girl is not going to run off with some guy just because he came over and asked for the number. So you need to be able to express and show that. So the first point is simply just don't react with jealousy and anger. Now the second point, as we can learn from one of the guys, is show some acknowledgement. Take that authority, take that boss role and tell him he's doing a good job. Give him props. And then you simply just follow that up with some advice. Just really set that frame. So now you can simply just say, hey bro, just speak a little bit louder next time. Just be a bit more expressive. Girls really like that. And this is essentially just trolling him back a little bit there. Now, if you follow these 3 easy tips, trust me, you'll have no problems dealing with guys that come up to you. And next week, I'm gonna actually break down my own footage of approaching a girl in a club that is with a guy and how I handle it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to hit subscribe, put the bell on, and hit us up with a like, or even hit us up with a comment. Let us know what you think. Any questions, we'll try to get around to answering. Otherwise, peace. We'll see you next week.